Well, welcome back to the pottery. What I'm doing at the moment is opening a kiln. We've done a glaze firing in this one. There's some tiles, some mugs, a few bowls, and the rest of the cider tankards that I posted on the last video, and we sort of changed those a little bit. I'll show you when I open the door. Well, here we are. Here's the controller for the kiln. It's finished. In fact, it finished the day before yesterday, and went up to 1100 Celsius, and now it's back down to 37. So it's perfectly okay to open it. At about 50 Celsius, I took the bung out of the top of it, and that was earlier this morning. So it's dropped 13 degrees since then. It's always very slow when you come down in the temperature range. Let's switch that off, and when you get down to about 100 degrees, you've still got a fair bit of cooling left to do. Now, most people want to crack the kiln open and have a look at that stage, but in a glaze firing, that's really not a very good idea. I do most of the glaze firing in this front loader here, so I can get, it's not a big kiln, it's only 4 cubic foot, so it's a baby really. But it's big enough for us, and we've got an 8 in the corner and 2 4s. This is the other 4. It's a top loader. Now I'm going to discuss those in a future video, but at the moment I just want to show you what it's like to open a kiln, and when you should do it. So 37, that's perfectly safe. I've got 2 locking straps on the door here, and down the bottom I've got this switch, which is I'm going to have to undo like that. So I've isolated the power inside the kiln now. I've already switched off the 3-phase power to this kiln, because this is a 3-phase kiln. It is 400 volts, it's 3-phase, it's 8.48 kilowatts, and it'll go up to 1300. Well, we've just been to 1105. I've stuck another 5 degrees on, and we've kept it there for an hour. So our firing cycle actually has been 100 degrees an hour up to 200, and then 185 degrees an hour up to 1105 degrees, and then a soak of 1 hour 59 minutes. Okay, so I can open the door now, and let's have a look and see what we're faced with. Well, they're the cider tankards at the top, and then we've got a shelf of wax resist mugs. Then we've got some bowls, and these are well, they're not all in white earthenware. This one is, and that's got a duck egg blue glaze on the outside of it, a green glaze on the inside of it, and Charlotte's done some sgraffito work there. And opposite that one, there's a terracotta bowl, which will be much cheaper in the shop, because it requires a lot less effort to glaze it, and you can have a bit of fun with terracotta, just decorating it with slips. And I don't know, we don't do a lot of terracotta stuff, but actually everything on these first 3 shelves, the vast majority of it is terracotta. So let's have a look at it. Down the bottom, tiles, because there's a tile commission I showed you in the last video, and I hadn't got the plain white ones, so the plain white ones are down there, so hopefully they're all right. Well, let's have a look at these. So that's perfectly easy to hold now, it's just warm, it's not hot. And these are terracotta cider tankards, and the other lot, look, are over here. And I did show you those on the last one. What we've done with these is just done a little bit more decoration on that medallion. And the medallion at the front is a sprig, in as much as it's a separate piece of clay pressed into a mould, or in this case actually it's printed from a lino cut, and all the details of that are on the video that says making sprigs, and that was about 3 videos ago, something like that. And if you want to know the technical details of how this is done, that's all on there. So that's been attached to the tankard with scribber, same way as the handle has, which is extruded, incidentally. It's not a pulled handle. I used to pull all the handles. I don't do that anymore. It takes too long. And so here's a different colour. Yeah, I'm pleased with that. So he wanted sort of appley colours. We did do one blue one, which I suppose was a little bit naughty, but it's surprising what does and doesn't sell. It's a little, these are just bits that, there's a mug and a little vase there. And in the front here is this right, so this is a student. They are hand-built jugs that my wife's students have made in a pottery class, and I think there's 2 of them. Yep, there's the other one. This one's yours, Storm. There we are, that's come out pretty well. And now the rest of it, oh no, we got flower pots in here. So there's a terracotta flower pot. I know it's a pot, but I put the drainage hole in the side there, and it's got a same green slip actually as these these have got, and a little bit of simple slip trailing over it. And so we should have 5 of these tankards. There's the next one, so that's 1, 2, 3, and right at the back there's the next one. So that's 4, and the last one looks a lot whiter. So you got green and white one there. I think actually what I'm gonna, that's probably the most successful of those sprigs. So that's how we'll do the next one. We'll just rub that slip back into the relief decoration. Add a little bit of colour for the leaves and the apples. That is, if he wants any more. We did a trial run here of 10 of them, and he's got a business making cider, and if he manages to sell these, hopefully he'll want some more. And okay, so I'm just going to put this in the tripod. And there you are, you can see the inside space of the kiln. I'm going to take it down a little bit. You can't quite see the pyrometer in this, the thermocouple I should say. I'm just going to show it to you because it's there, look. See it there? Now, there's always going to be one of those sticking into the kiln. On the front loader there, it's a bit of a nuisance because it's down the bottom instead of being at the top. So it's giving you the temperature at the bottom of the kiln. And the problem with it is at the bottom of the kiln, you've got to clear quite a, but I'm not quite sure, let's say about 3.5 inches in the bottom of it, something like that. And that means that you've got to put sort of bigger pots in the bottom. Well, the next, I normally do biscuit firings in the top loader and glaze firings in this one. The reason I do glaze firings in this one is much slower to cool down, and I got a couple of little blue tiles. So I had a little bit of room, so I did one of our relief tiles plain. That's white earthenware. There's an 8-inch tile, so it's a biggie, and so that's as big as we go in tiles. We can do one-off stuff that's bigger than that, but it starts getting a bit risky if you're going a lot bigger with ungrogged clay in particular. So there we are. That's that one, and we cleared that. Let's have a look at the mugs. Now I've got 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, and I've got 15 mugs on that shelf. Now this is only a baby kiln, as I say, but it's amazing what you can get in it. So well, we've taken some tiles out, and we got a little bit of student wear. We got 1 flower pot. We got 4 tankards, and now we've got what I say it was about 15. Let's put that one over there. One of those a bit shorter there. They should all be the same size, of course, but well, I think if I'd made 20 or 30 of them, they all start coming out the same in the end. Let's have a look at the mugs. So these are wax resist on terracotta. So first of all, they've been dipped in a white slip on the outside, so they'll have been inverted like that, dipped into the white slip down to where my thumb is, and then when that's dried off, then they're painted in hot wax and paraffin in this style here with a nice warm brush, and then they're dipped again in the blue slip over the top of that. They're then biscuit fired up to 1000 degrees, and then they're glazed at 1100 degrees. The handles are extruded, and I've got 2 different extrusions. There's a bigger, same pattern, but a bigger one for that, and actually this one's got the bigger extruded handle on it there, and same pattern. And these are selling quite well now. We've dropped the price down to 16 quid, and they do look remarkably as if they're all the same size. And that's because I made a lot of them at once, and it's easier to get them all the same. The trick is really, I don't use a guide on the wheel. I find it gets in the way, so I don't really find it gets in the way, and I've never done it. But at any rate, that one's slightly lower. Look, we'll put that one on top. Here's blue over orange. You can endlessly muck about with these in terms of, what's that, orange over green, by the look of it. They're quite popular, people like them, and they're comfortable to drink out of, and they're quite easy to make, although I find sitting down at the wheel and making a lot of anything is I don't know, I think I must be getting lazy. There's blue over grey. Yeah, it's a bit of a, you've got to have nothing else to do. If you sit down on the wheel and start making stuff, it does require quite a high level of concentration. That's the worst thing about throwing. Other than that, it's fine. You just got to do. It's just one of those things that has to be done in a pottery. So I quite like doing this decoration. is quite fun, and they're lovely to see when they come out of the kiln. So that's I'm not sure what green that is over the orange. It's reacted with it a bit. Green over, sorry, white over green, that one. Got to put that one in the back there, I think. It's a baby one. Bit smaller than the others. I'll put it out there, out of the way. And then we've got same slips on these, but the other way around, so to speak. So that's blue over orange, and orange over blue. I think I like that one better. But you never know what people like, really. It's interesting. Think we're going to be all right there? I'll put that one over there. And finally, there's another of the green ones, but the other way around. Yes, so there we are, you know, and we're halfway down the kiln now. So let's just have a look at the bowls. I thought I might need to backwash these shelves again, but actually they stood up really well. I try and keep them clean because that way the shelves last longer. Here's some little bee jugs. Charlotte makes these out of terracotta, so these are a big seller in the pottery. So she models little bees and puts them on the handle, sticks them on with scribber. And again, we extrude these handles. She does the throwing on these, and we throw them directly onto oil-tempered bats, and we don't do any turning. A lot of people do with earthenware, because earthenware can be a bit porous. There's one that doesn't have a handle, so 2 bee jugs, and then we got a load of little bowls, but not a lot. So there's the one I already showed you, which I can put down there, and we got 2 of these. So I think Charlotte's been doing a sgraffito work on this. Got the same. It's got the same slip on the outside of it. I think that's a slip rather than an underglaze. And to do this sgraffito work, we just make use of the white body there. So she's painted or sponged the leaves on in black and then scraped through them with a sharpened dart, dart as in arrows. And so there's 2 of those. The other one looks like it's green on the outside, same decoration on the inside. And there's a couple of terracotta bowls. There's one, and there's the other. Very simple. So that's that done, and I can just have a quick look and see if the whole purpose really of firing this lot was to get the rest of this tile commission out. I couldn't get the whole thing in the last firing. So these are the white slip tiles, and they are slipped over terracotta, so you can see the terracotta through it, through the slip, which is quite attractive because when you put them together in a different you know, in a variety of different ways, they make an interesting pattern rather than simply being a plain wall of white tiles which you can buy at Tops Tiles or something like that. You've got something that's distinctly handmade, and that's really why most of our clients come to us. there's one of our relief tiles which is impressed with a lino, and then Charlotte's painted the lino. So that's the hair tile. You can see the blue and the other relief tiles on the last video, and there's the rest of the tiles. And in addition to that, we got a few of these little pressed birds. So if you look at the back of this, it's sitting on a kiln stilt to prevent it from sticking to the shelf. We have to put those on a little kiln shelf. Now, on a little kiln, bit of kiln furniture like that. So those little props have got little bits of NiCad wire stuck in them. Now, I make those if I have to. If we got a commission that requires a lot of stuff that needs glazing on both sides, some sort of medallion or something like that, then we can make those quite easily by cutting NiCad wire and sticking them in bits of. Let's see. Here's some. Here's one that sort of thing that we make to do that, and you have to break them off like this. Let's see if I can show you. You got to just break that off like that, and that's going to leave you with three sharp little bits there, and you've got to grind those down with a little grinding tool, you know, sort of Dremel Proxon kind of thing like that, just to give yourself a smooth finish at the back. But what we have got to go in their place, if I show you, yeah, here's one that I think is the same. Okay, now we're going to these are raw, so they've only just been painted. So if I turn it over, you can see the clay on the back of it. That's a decoration on the front of it, and these have got a lot more work in them. And then what I do is I make little brass jump rings out of them and solder them together. So there's only a few of these in that firing. There's another one. He's also stuck onto a little bit of kiln furniture there, which we'll deal with in due course. And yeah, there we are. Finally, down the bottom there's a few more white tiles and a glaze test. I just got some bits and pieces in various buckets, and so I've marked the buckets on the shelf and done some sort of Egyptian hieroglyphic on the side of this tile, which I can't even read now because I spent half an hour looking for the paintbrush while I was doing that. Couldn't find it, of course. I never can when you're looking for something. And then yesterday, when I was clearing the place up, I found it right in front of my nose. But that's the sort of thing that happens in here quite frequently. Anyway, I think by and large, they're not really significant. I just wanted to check that I hadn't got some magical formula tucked away in a mixed up state and had forgotten what it was. So there we are, guys. That's there's the kiln virtually unloaded, and it's only a 4 cubic foot kiln, but as you can see, you can get quite a lot of stuff in it. And yeah, so hope you found that interesting, and any comments in the comments section if you would please, or questions, and I'd be delighted to answer. And please like and subscribe if you've lasted this long, because all we're trying to do is share a bit of information, and we hope that you've enjoyed it, and we hope you join us again. Thank you very much.